I had 1500 euros and a dream to build my dream downhill bike. And this is what I ended up with. Oh man, I have great news. After 3 months looking for a downhill bike, I finally found this one. It's a Giant Glory 2019. It has DVO suspension, DT Swiss wheels and SRAM code brakes. So I think this is a great base for our project, and I negotiated for 1000 euros. I don't think I'm gonna lower it more because I don't think he's open to, but I still think 1000 euros is a great deal for this bike. So yeah, we're gonna pick it up in a week. So see you in the next week. Let's go. Okay, we are here with the bike. So just do a little test ride, but everything looks fine. Suspension is working fine. Everything shifting. It's a bit lower in the front, but that's something that we will fix. Yeah, nice brakes. No plays. Wheels are straight. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we found our bike. Okay, here is the bike that we just bought. It's a Giant Glory from 2019. I ended up buying for 1000 euros like we agreed in the beginning because that was its threshold and the bike was working fine. I mean, you can see some signs of use, but that's normal, and for this price I think it was still a pretty nice deal. In terms of components, we have DVO suspension, DVO shock. I never used them, but from what I heard they are pretty nice. We have DT Swiss wheels. I have used these wheels in the past and I had no problems with this. I think Aaron Gwyn did a run without the rear tire with these rims and they were intact. Well, not intact, but they were in good shape after his run. We have SRAM 7-speed and we have SRAM code brakes, and I think those are the main things that we should highlight in this bike. I want to swap the fork for a 29er, then also swap the front wheel to a 29er. Then to give this bike a custom look, I want to paint it. And I never painted a bike before, so I think it's gonna be interesting. But before we start with any work on this bike, we need to start searching for a fork, because a 29er downhill fork is pretty hard to find in a good price. And without the fork, we don't have project. So yeah, let's start looking for a fork right now, and then we start dismounting the bike. Let's go. Okay, now that I have my phone, let's start searching for a fork. But as I said, they are really hard to find, but we will see. Let's see what we have. Oof, yeah, like I was telling you, 1000 euros for a fork. It's quite expensive. It's almost our budget. Again, 1200 euros. This is nuts. This is crazy. Oh my God. No way. Look at this. 450 euros for a Fox 40. I know that it's the performance, but it's at least from 2022. I mean, this is a pretty nice deal. Okay, so it's scratched in the extensions. Oh, and more scratched in the other parts. Yeah, I mean, it's the only fork that we could find so far. So what I'm gonna do, I will ask him if it's still available, and I will ask for more details and more pictures, and yeah, we will see. If it's not that deep, maybe we will buy the fork and maybe negotiate the price a little bit. So yeah, now let's wait for his answer, and in the meanwhile, let's dismount the bike. Okay, time to give this fork a good clean so we can take some pictures. Honestly, I have no idea how much I will put this fork for sale, because I searched online and there isn't much 27.5 downhill forks for sale, so we can compare and see what's the market value. So yeah, I was thinking something about 200 euros, and yeah, she's clean now. Let's take some pictures. Okay, I just posted the pictures in the marketplace. Now we just wait and see if someone is interested in the fork. Hopefully someone will be. So yeah, I'll let you know when we have some news. Let's go. Here we are. 10 days and a haircut later, I have some big news. The first news is that we managed to sell the DVO for 150 euros. I have no idea if that's too cheap or too expensive. I have no idea, but we just did it. So yeah, pretty stoked on that. But this is what I'm most excited about, because I bought the Fox 40 that we saw and I negotiated for 350 euros, 100 euros less. So yeah, I think it was pretty great, but we need to open the box and check. For the size and the weight, I don't think it's a sack of potatoes, but we never know. So I'm gonna open it. Wow. And here goes. Oh my god, so much paper. Jesus. Okay. I mean, if the fork is scratched, it wasn't from the shipping, because there is so much paper in it. And yeah, here we have. Honestly, this isn't that bad. I don't think this is gonna damage the ceilings at all. I mean, we can see that we have some scratches here. I mean, I think this was a pretty nice deal. We couldn't find cheaper than this, even if it wasn't scratched, like at least 600, 500 if we were lucky. So I think this was a pretty nice deal, and with the DVO that we just sold, now we have a fork for 200 euros. So it can't get better than this. But there is something more I want to show you. At least she was secured. But yeah, now we gonna make some room, because we will need to start with the frame. Okay, time to start this annoying process. I just went to buy some sandpaper because I didn't have it. I searched on internet and we should use the 400 sandpaper. So yeah, just wet the frame and then we just start sanding it out. I have no idea how long this will take, but I don't think I'm gonna show you guys the full process because it will be quite boring. So yeah, I will let you guys know when the frame is sanded and how long it took me. So yeah, see you in a couple days, I think. Let's go. Okay, 2 weeks later, I have some news. The first news is that we finished with the bike, so the bike is sanded and masked, so it's ready for painting, and as you can see here, we already have the paints. But we're gonna talk about this in a minute, because I have some exciting news, and as you can see from this box, I bought a shock. I bought a Fox DHX2 factory. It was 160 euros, which is maybe a mistake because we still didn't sell the DVO shock, but yeah, it was just too cheap. 160 euros for a DHX2. It's quite a deal. The seller said that the previous owner did a service 3 months ago. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's see. It's not a sack of potatoes, so that's good. Don't need this anymore. Okay, it's going. It's stuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I can hear. I don't know if you can hear it. Like. Yeah, you can hear maybe some hair inside, but oh man. I really thought this was good, but if I pay someone to do it, it will be too expensive, so it will be over our budget. But I also never did a service of this shock. Well, there is a first time for everything, right? So I think we're gonna order the stuff and we're gonna do it together for the first time, because why not? It's quite a bummer, but we will take care of it later. Now let's talk about the paints. I gotta say, the paint that I want to do, it wasn't cheap because I went to specific colors. We have here the primer. I bought 2 because, yeah, we need 2 bottles. And then we have a dark blue, a BMW San Marino blue, and a Land Rover Santorini black metallic. So the idea is to go dark blue in the front and then fade to black. And then to make sure that we have a nice finish, I bought a 2K clear coat eyeglass to give that little pop. So hopefully in the sunlight, the bike will just shine. And yeah, that's it. But wait, we need some stickers. I don't have any stickers for the bike. Let's search for it. So the stickers have arrived. Let's have a look. So the guys from JM Graphics, they were really nice and they were really fast. So these are the stickers that we have. Okay, that's all. So for the frame, we're gonna go with silver, and I think silver will look really nice. Then we will also use silver for the Fox 40 to put it together. And to finish it off, we're gonna use silver stickers too for the wheels. So I think it's gonna look pretty sick. So yeah, now let's wait for Flip and start painting the bike. But we need to find a place to paint it. Maybe I found it. Okay, now that we painted the bike, it's time to start working on the other stuff, especially the shock, to make sure that we have a good working shock. But before we start talking about the big box in the room, there is good and bad news that I would like to share, and that's that I sold the old DVO shock, which means that now we have more 100 euros to our budget, and that also means that we cannot mess this up. But fingers crossed, everything will go smooth. Yeah, let's start with this box. This is not a pizza, I wish. It's the DT Swiss EX511, and it's a 29er, so we can build the front wheel. I did not bought any spokes because I had old spokes from an old enduro wheel, so I think they will do the job, especially for a front wheel. We don't need like these expensive spokes, I hope. We have the oil, of course. I bought this 4W Motor X oil because it was half of the price from the original from Fox, which was, yeah, a great deal. And the rest, I have to be honest, it's everything from AliExpress, because or I couldn't find the parts I was looking for, or they were just too expensive. And on AliExpress, I found everything. But yeah, now let's start working on the shock. Let's go. Okay, now that we serviced our shock, we are almost there. Oh man, we are really close. We only have a few things to do for us to be ready to start building the bike up again. The first thing is to build the wheel. These are the spokes that I told you. They are not in the perfect shape, but I think they will do the job, especially for a front wheel. They are also not that strong, but again, for the front wheel, it should be fine. If we still have time today, we're gonna start with the stickers to put on the fork, on the wheels, and in the other stuff. So yeah, let's get into work. Let's go. Okay, this is what we have been waiting for. Let's build our dream bike. Let's go. Okay, here we have our dream Daniel bike. But before we start talking about costs, there is something that we would like to share with you, and that's that we created a GoFundMe. The link is in the description, there is more information there, but basically what we want to do is to do more builds like this, enduro and downhill builds, and then use that bike and give it away to someone that cannot afford a mountain bike. Because if you know our story, you know that when we were young, we couldn't afford bikes like this. So basically we want to make someone's dream come true and at the same time do great content to you, because I know that you love this type of builds. Now let's talk about costs and how much this bike costed. So yeah, we bought the bike for 1,000 euros. Then we bought the fork, the Fox 40 Performance, for 350 euros. Then we sold the old fork for 150 euros. Then we bought the shock, the DHX factory, for 160 euros. Then we sold the old shock for 100 euros. Then we had to buy the rim, the front rim, 70 euros. Then the material to service the shock was 40 euros. Then the paint, I went a little bit crazy on it. It was 100 euros. And there were little things needed during the build, and that was 20 euros. So the total of this bike is 1,490 euros. So I think this was a great deal. Of course, we could save 100 euros with the paint, and that will cost us 1,390 euros. But let's be honest, the bike will not look as sick as it looks right now. So yeah, I don't regret it a bit. I am loving this. I think it just turned out great. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this build? What would you do different? What you like? I would love to see what's your opinion about this build. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share this video with a friend that thinks he needs a 10K bike. Like the video, and see you in the next one.